Join the conversation with the Morning Majlis, Pulse 95.
Yes, you can join the conversation by texting us at 4215, especially this conversation that's been on everybody's minds lately. It's the U.S. elections, who is going to be the president, and we finally have the answer. I mean, the circumstances under which the 2020 U.S. presidential elections were held can be termed as extraordinary because they come at a time when the world is battered by the raging COVID-19 pandemic. And the COVID-19 factor and the experience of the 2016 election, for example, when most of the votes or most of them got the elections predictions wrong, is the reason why every major news network in the U.S. was being very careful in calling the elections. There's absolutely nothing in the Constitution or any federal law that mandates a winner of the election be declared on the same day of Election Day. In fact, for much of the 19th century, it took days, if not weeks, for the winner to be declared. So this time, after about 5 days of a wait for us, America has chosen Democrat Joe Biden as its 46th president. He won 219 electoral votes. As for Trump, he remained at 214. So for us, let's just congratulate the United States for its new president, Joe Biden.
Yeah, a lot of people woke up in shock. A lot of people came up and thought, whoa, finally, that we have seen winds of change. But there's a lot to analyze, and now we've got the new president. First up, we have a female vice president.
Yep.
That's history in the making.
First one,
a black female white vice president.
Yep.
South Asian descent as well. So major milestones have been achieved. Joe Biden is also a person who gives a message to everyone: never give up. He's had multiple attempts at trying to be president. And finally, he's pulled it off now after 50 years in public office. 50 years. Never has he given up. And, you know, as an individual, as a personality, I was one of those people who believed it's going to be a bit of a personality clash. Trump is so flamboyant. He's so out there. He's so he's spent a lot of money on his campaigns.
True.
In fact, third year of his presidency, it started to become he wants to get re-elected. And we saw the major changes foreign policy-wise. And we all thought and assumed this is all to get him re-elected. Joe Biden, I'd say, was a dark horse.
Yeah.
Definitely a dark horse.
Absolutely.
And he emerged out of the ashes and decided to take this as well.
And again, the main victory here as well, or the main change, or let's just say, California Senator, obviously, Kamala Harris, his running mate.
Yeah.
Let's just highlight that again. She made history because she is the first woman, the first black person, and the first person of South Asian descent to become vice president. So this has to be also noted to be a significant moment.
Definitely. And looking at the bigger picture, why Joe Biden potentially won, there's going to be a lot of people thinking, how? Because it was a massive personality clash. First up, Donald Trump had a bit of a messy situation with the COVID-19.
Right.
Joe Biden, people wanted change. They wanted to go back to Democrats, and Joe Biden's own opponents within the Democratic Party were from the left. Joe Biden was very center. So Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, very leftist. They just couldn't match up with the expectations of the crowd. And if you look at their campaigns as well, it wasn't that very impressive. Secondly, Donald Trump, after over 20 years, becomes the first president to lose a re-election bid.
Wow.
We've seen so many precedents, and this is our quiz for you. Who was the last president who lost his re-election bid?
Before Donald Trump.
Before Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's play this Majlis quiz. Why not?
This is the Majlis quiz.
This is the Majlis quiz.
Pulse 95.
So whilst we're discussing and celebrating all things US elections, let's play a bit of a game. Who was the last president of the United States who lost his re-election campaign? Let's give you a biggest hint. Over 20 years ago. Let us know on the text lines 4215. For the meantime, let's celebrate all things Joe Biden, his political career, and
Let's hear his victory speech.
Yes.
Let's
and
do that.
Sadly, he's also a person whose resilience, you could say, is because he's lost a lot of his children, sadly. And him as a person is what an ideal personality and very Americanized, and people could relate to him. And let's listen into what Biden had to say during his victory speech as well.
The people of this nation have spoken. They've delivered us a clear victory, a convincing victory, a victory for we the people. We've won with the most votes ever cast on a presidential ticket in the history of the nation. 74 million. What I must admit has surprised me. Tonight, we're seeing all over this nation, all cities and all parts of the country, indeed across the world, an outpouring of joy, of hope, renewed faith in tomorrow, bring a better day. And I'm humbled by the trust and confidence you've placed in me. I pledge to be a president who seeks not to divide, but unify, who doesn't see red states and blue states, only sees the United States. And work with all my heart, with the confidence of the whole people, to win the confidence of all of you. And for that is what America, I believe, is about. It's about people. And that's what our administration will be all about. I sought this office to restore the soul of America, to rebuild the backbone of this nation, the middle class, and to make America respected around the world again.
Wow. Well, and then this was the moment when Kamala Harris spoke to Joe Biden.
On the phone, right?
On the
she
phone.
called him, yeah.
Did it. We did it, Joe. You're going to be the next president of the United States.
Yep, and that's what is all about the elections, and we will be discussing it in greater detail. If you'd like to shout your opinions and thoughts on why Joe Biden might have won the elections, you can let us know on the text lines 4215. Stay tuned to Pulse 95.
Join the conversation with the Morning Majlis, Pulse 95.
Well, as we have been patiently anticipating and waiting for the 5G launch here in the region, because of the fact that it's extremely fast and much more powerful than 4G or other network frequencies is the main driver here and the attractive part. But as we sit here and wait for us to experience 5G, China over there is already sending the world's first 6G satellite into space to test the technology. So it's safe to say that the space race is on, because not only did China send 13 more satellites into orbit yesterday, it also successfully completed this world's first sending up a sixth generation communications test satellite. So the devices were put into space by a Long March 6 carrier rocket that blasted off from the Taiwan Satellite Launch Center. And the 6G satellite was among 3 Chinese satellites successfully launched into orbit, along with 10 commercial remote sensing satellites developed by Argentinian company Satellogic.
I don't like this at all.
Why?
Because now they're telling us, 5G phones, 5G is going to be the big thing.
Yeah, they're hyping us up for
Yeah.
5G, and there's 6G.
Now there's 6G.
So 5G is not attractive to us anymore.
Exactly. So now you're thinking. So I as a potential personal
5G
investor.
user.
Yeah. Well, I don't use 5G at all.
No,
because
potential.
Potential.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons is because I didn't buy any of those other 5G phones. I said, okay, let's iPhone roll out the 5G, and I'll finally migrate from the world of Android to the world of 5G. Whilst I'm still waiting for the overhype of buying these phones to subside, China says, by the way, there's going to be a 6G. And you're thinking, what Well,
5G is not cool anymore.
yeah, and what should I do? Should I wait till the satellite reaches space? Should I wait till other people start inventing 6G phones? Because I'm pretty sure all these companies, such as Huawei and the Oppos and the Hippos and whoever is going to be around, they're going to create some phone that's going to be out in January that does 6G.
To disappoint you further,
Exactly.
the technology is expected to be over 100 times faster than 5G. It will enable lossless transmission in space to achieve long-distance communications with a smaller power output. But the fact that the 6G technology is going to be over 100 times faster than 5G, that is the disappointment here.
Certainly is a bit of a disappointment. I'm not very, very pleased with it at all, as far as I'm aware. But what can you do? That's the big question, isn't it? Let us know on the text lines 4215. Are you one of those who is very eager to make sure that you have an up-to-date phone and would like a phone that is very useful for this situation? But it's all just down to pretty much how people feel and the way they want it, really, isn't it?
Let's go back to the Nokia 6600.
Look, I have to tell you this.
Those times were the
Those
best.
times were good.
Yes.
Now, I am also one of those people who likes classic stuff.
Yeah.
Back in the days, I still got the radio that has the two knobs that you have to sort of scroll and make sure you match the frequency. Also inspired by a purchase of one of our team members in Pulse 95 Radio.
True.
It's very classic. It looks cool and it's great.
It's in our office, actually.
It
here.
is, yes.
Yeah,
and
we have one here.
One thing that I was very looking forward to yesterday,
Yeah.
I went into the famous market that is known for its dragons, right? I went in there, bought myself a new projector.
Okay.
I was going to buy a projector so I could watch a film in the terrace and be happy, right?
All right.
That person told me, why don't you buy this one, which is Android? You don't need to connect it. It has the Android speed. It has Netflix.
But I want to experience this. That's what you should have told him.
I did tell him that I want the old classical look.
Yeah.
It's fine, but it made sense. It was double the price, okay, but then you get a device that you can plug in wherever you want. So it doesn't need power. It's battery operated. It has the Netflix. It has YouTube. It has everything that you need in a normal functioning phone. Me thinking, okay, brilliant idea, decides to buy it.
Yeah.
When I put it in my room or in my terrace, try to watch a film, turns out the RAM speed is only 1 GB. And you're thinking,
Joke's on you.
what on earth was this? You click on Netflix, it's scrolling, and you wait and wait. 1 minute in, it works. You click on the film, 1 more minute to start it.
Oh my
And you're
God.
thinking, outrageous, absolutely no need for all this extra technology. And then you sort of remember the days of 6110. Back in the days, phones were very slow. Back in the days when the floppy disks were
Yeah.
the thing, and you can only store certain KB in them. So we've gone faster. We've
But
gone
again, those were the days.
forward. You could say so.
Yeah.
One could say so. But throwback to those days is because that back then we just wanted things our way. Let us know on the text lines 4215 your favourite nostalgic item and memory, and we will give you a bit of a throwback and a bit of a sing-along this morning on Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of The Morning Majlis, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.